conquered all of Europe. We're never gonna stop. We're 5 times Turkey.
Niall, you forgot to tell Genie if he was feeling like an adult today. Every time you don't ask him, this is what I'm actually done.
But yes, guys, we are live. Obviously, as we all know, the United and Liverpool game has been postponed, cancelled, however you really want to put it. Big up to Craig in the comments laughing, and I think it's Venomize. That's how I'm going to say it. I think that's how we say it. I don't like butchering names. I do it on a regular basis. But this is the biggest anyone could have really sort of seen in football. The biggest game in English football has been postponed because earlier today, Manchester United fans decided to literally go onto the field of play. They broke into Old Trafford and have however you want to put it, have got this game postponed, which is the biggest message anyone could have sent. But Rachel, I'll start with you. Obviously, being a United fan, I'm sure you're wanting the Glazers out more than anyone. What sort of message do you think this sends for what the United fans have done today?
Do you know what? I think it's a strong message because obviously the fans really, really want the Glazers out. But it's a matter of whether they actually care. I mean, they're probably not in the US. They were probably eating breakfast when it was going on. Hold on, sorry, 1 second.
Not sure what's happened there. Jeannie, we'll go to you then. What's your reactions? Obviously, this is the biggest game in English football. You're a Liverpool fan. The United fans are clearly very passionate about what they want. They want the Glazers gone. They will do anything to have that. What's your thoughts as obviously a Liverpool fan?
Look, I respect the United fans' point of view. Obviously, the Glazers aren't nice people at all. They aren't footballing people. They're not footballing fans. They're businessmen. But I think today was wrong. I didn't like it. They call it peaceful. It wasn't really peaceful. I've seen a clip. I've seen like a picture of like a steward there that's been beaten up. There's been cameras thrown. Media. Yeah, I don't agree with it. They've stopped our football match. Because of an issue that possibly could be done in other forms. It's a strong message. I respect that, but I think they've gone too far, in my opinion, and I'm not a fan of it.
Fair enough. What about you, Rachel? What's your thoughts?
It was only a minority of people that caused the violence, and unfortunately, that's going to overshadow what really happened and what it was all about. But I don't agree with the violence towards other people at all. I think that was a step too far, absolutely. But the message is clear. We all want the Glazers out. They're scumbag owners. They don't care about the club. They don't even know when we're playing matches, especially in midweek. They probably don't even know that the Europa League even exists, to be honest with you. But with the protest, I think the violence was way too far. It shouldn't have happened. I think I saw the picture, or you showed me the video, didn't you? Of that gash on the guy's face. That's not acceptable at all. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I hear that, and Charles, obviously, me and you sort of found this information out whilst the Formula One stream. What's your thoughts of what we've seen today?
I mean, I understand if you want to protest and you want to make your thoughts known to everybody, but I mean, there's no need for the violence. I have to agree with Jeannie. Like, violence is never the right option. It never will be. What does violence do? Like, it's on camera. You're just going to end up in a mug in prison. So, cool story. You can add that to your record when you're trying to apply for a job. But I mean, That like the stewards did nothing. They were just doing their job, what they're paid to do, which is to stop you in. So to get beat up for that is just completely unacceptable. I mean, it's an absolutely the right decision to have the game postponed, because obviously they were obviously breaching the bubble, the COVID bubble that these teams have been in. There were people that weren't wearing masks, they weren't wearing any of this, and they were inside this stadium, and you don't know if they're a carrier or not. So then that's a COVID risk. I get peaceful, like we've had peaceful protesters where the matches have gone on. This is my problem. You've had a Man U protest already that's been peaceful enough that the match can continue. So why now does it need to be taken that step further? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the Glazers are actually gonna give a shit unless it actually affects their pocket, which means all you Man U fans need to stop buying their merch. You buying their merch is giving them money. Like, I get the season ticket thing, 100% get that. It's harder to do, but you're buying their merch. You're still giving them money. So if you're going to go protest and you're still giving them money, I have no sympathy for you, because you're still enabling the Glazers to have money. If you stop that and go protest, I'm cool with that. I'll respect you, but you're still giving them money. I feel sorry for Liverpool, to be honest. It's a game that they needed, and like every game is important at this point in time when you've got 5 games left. It's just, yes, I don't think it's fair on the other team, who Liverpool have done protests, Arsenal have done protests, Spurs have done protests, Chelsea have done protests, and they've all ended up in a match being played. So I don't know why the line needed to be crossed in the Man U protests. But I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I feel more sorry for Liverpool than I do Man United, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know that sounds a little bit horrible, but
No, not at all.
there's just a limit, you know, because we've all done protests, like, and we've never hindered another team in getting points. And this is what Man U fans have actually done, is they've hindered a team from getting points. Now, for me, that's a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Some comments here. Jeannie back his tracks again. Exactly my thoughts, Jeannie. RJ saying can't come on sadly, but I hope you are all well. Yep, we are all good there. Craig saying big up the panel. Big up to yourself as well. Chris saying right decision to postpone the game. It wasn't safe to play a game for COVID breaches and someone get injured in the stadium. Yeah, and that's the bit I don't condone. Obviously, me and Charles saw this information come out when we were doing a Formula One watch along, and I'll be completely honest. I don't mind them smashing up cameras. Smash up as many of them as you like. They are material, right? They can be replaced, and that doesn't hurt anyone. The physical violence on fellow human beings, that's just wrong and disgraceful and disgusting and way too far, and that doesn't need to be happening.
Question:
so,
if you're going to smash up cameras, please make sure next time, Man United fans, it's VAR. Please, I'm praying. I don't care about normal cameras, but if you're going to smash something up, make sure it's VAR, something all fans will support you on.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And Velv, I have sent you the link in the private message. But Aaron, you're obviously a Doncaster fan. I don't even know if you have fans to do a mass protest, but what's your thoughts on what we've seen today?
Well, you know, I don't. Well, first of all, they didn't break in. I've seen the pictures and the videos that Gallo sent me, that the people have sent me. They were let in. They opened the doors and they let them in.
Okay.
Secondly, I don't condone the violence on human beings, but things like smashing up the sky cameras, you know, smashing up the presentation box, the executive box where all the big boys play with the billionaire money, storming the pitch. It's a statement. It's a huge, huge statement. And it's just a shame that it was a step too far with the violence against other people, because I think if they didn't do that and just did the rest of it, it could have been the perfect statement. But now, and this is what I was saying to a gal during the Newcastle Arsenal stream on his channel, the media and the Glazers are going to use the violence and they're going to use it to their advantage now, because the media have been protecting owners for years, bad owners for years. Look at the way they protected Mike Ashley. You know, Rio Ferdinand's the biggest candidate of Mike Ashley's protected. Look at the way they protected these owners for a while. Now suddenly, because it's a big club, they've turned on them, but they weren't there when Newcastle were still in trouble. They weren't there with the likes of Bury in trouble. They don't care until it's too late. So the media are being hit by this. The Glazers' pockets will be hit by this and will continue to be hit by this. My sort of response to this is, if you didn't do the violence against the human beings, then you would have been all right. You know, a couple of fans got to take a couple of footballs on, kick a ball into Stretford End, live out their footballing dream. That was a nice, humorous touch. You know, it'd be nice to see fans doing that. Someone did a bicycle kick on top of the net near the Stretford End. It was good fun, that bit. But the violence against other people, I don't condone. I really don't condone that. But the rest of it, big up the United fans, because they're sending a statement. They're saying, you know what? There's been bad owners in the past 15, 20 years in football. And I've lived through English Football League to know that the big clubs have been trying to take more money away from us. And this has vibes of what happened, I believe it was the inaugural Premier League season or the season after. There was going to be a £1 billion takeover of Man United by a guy called Rupert Murdoch, who was the chief, I believe, at Sky Sports at the time. The fans protested. The bid fell through because of the government, because they took the fans' word, put it to the government, and the government rejected the bid. Fan power has worked since 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 75 years ago. They're making a statement. This was a huge statement made today. Are Arsenal fans going to do the same on Thursday? We don't know. Some people are condoning it. Some people are saying don't condone it. But for today, big up the United fans. And in a way, I do feel sorry for Liverpool. I do feel sorry for them because they need to win today to try and keep hopes of top four alive. Man United need to win because they don't want to lose it and bottle the title to City like they did 2 years ago under Mourinho against West Brom. So Man United need to win. Liverpool need to win. It was a huge game, one arguably the biggest game of the season, like you said. They hit it where it hurts. They chose this game to hit them where it hurts the most, financially. So big up the United fans. Get rid of the violence against other people and big up the fans. People can say, oh, you're vandalising equipment. So? Media don't care about football. They just care about getting clicks and money. You know, they don't care about little clubs when we go under bad ownership. They only care when the big six go under ownership because that's the biggest financial hit to the media. So don't go on social media crying about social media equipment being, you know, clipped up and stuff like that and broken by bats. You know, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. The media don't give a shit about us, so why should we care about them?
No, I hear that. Sauls, you're an Arsenal fan. You won the Cronkies out. What's your thoughts on what you've seen today?
I think what these people have done is ruined it for the thousands of other fans who have protested properly, because there's a proper way of doing something and there's a wrong way. Criminal damage and making yourself a criminal basically is the wrong way of going around it. It's trespassing. You know the amount of laws they broke. It's not about caring about the media. It's not about any of that, but it's about showing yourself in the right lights. And today was an absolute embarrassment to everyone who's gone there. I went last week. Do you know that becomes meaningless? You know, the Arsenal protest that happened becomes meaningless because they're going to twist this, and they always do. And it becomes so pointless, everything that's led up to this moment. You know, the pressure's clearly building on the Cronkies. There's talks from their camps coming out that they might be willing to sell. I know it's all hearsay, really, but there is pressure being put on them. Adidas has put pressure on them. And today what you've done, to those United, I'm not talking about all United fans, I'm talking to those individuals who decided it was the right thing to do was go into the stadiums and protest, was absolutely disgraceful to every single one of those fans who's done it properly. I was watching the Jamie Carragher was saying as well, he went around and interviewed a few fans for Sky Sports or for whatever, and he was saying a lot of them were peaceful and they were protesting the right way, but the few have ruined it for a lot. even where the Sky Sports like commentary team like Graham Souness and Roy Keane and Michael Richards and etc. was sitting, there was apparently nearly a flare hit at them. What are you guys doing? I don't look, and I get it, you know, smashing up the cameras and all that. I don't agree with any of that. Because if you want to protest, right, you do it the right way. You don't make it so that you've got a narrative, that they've got a narrative to run. If you want them out, you want them out. But keep it to that. Stop ruining it for everyone, because you know what? That's what's going to happen. Oh, hooligans. That's what's going to happen. Football hooligans are protesting. Do you not think we've tried this before? And what's happened? Do you know why ownerships don't go? Because we ruin it. Not because of the media twisting our stories. They didn't twist anything. Because we did it. They can only twist it when we do something. It's not twisting the narrative. It's showing the facts. But it's just because we don't want to see it, we don't want to agree with it. Just because the minority did it doesn't make it not a fact in this situation. Did people come into the stadium? Yes, they did. Did they damage equipment? Yes, they did. Are they criminals? Are they breaking laws? 100% they are. Just because it's happening to multi-billionaires doesn't make it any less of a crime than it happening to someone who's starting a media company. It's still the same. It's still being a criminal. It's still doing things that are against the law. I don't care about the game being, you know, postponed or cancelled or whatever happens with that. That was, you know, bound to happen even with a peaceful protest. They may think, you know what, safety might be a concern. They're at the stadium. There's no way for us to get a bus into, you know, and let the players play. That would have been fine. But the fact is, right, they then wanted to attack people. They forced their way into the stadium. I know the thing is, they were let in. But it wasn't letting in. You're going to be terrified of your life when there's about, you know, 20, 30, 40 people screaming at you, telling, you know, to let you. Because I seen it when the first person went in. They were all like crowded but at the gates. If you look at the last week protest, even if you come and look at the videos I made, there was no one near the gates because that wasn't what we wanted to do. There was individuals who tried to do stuff like that, but we told them no. And this is the problem. This is what happens when people get involved and they get way too emotional. They lose track and lose focus of what's really important. It's like, for example, and I know this is going to be maybe a bad example, but when the Black Lives Matter movement happened and there were people rioting and looting, it lost the message. It started losing its importance. This is what happened. That's why I keep saying there's a proper way of doing something and there's a wrong way of doing it. And today, unfortunately, I know a majority might have done it the right way, but those minorities have ruined it for all those thousands. Because I seen the pictures and I was like, do you know what? That's our turnout. It just got ruined. It just got put into the dump because whatever message you wanted to send is now corrupted, and that's my problem with this.
You see Graham Souness's comments though afterwards as well.
One minute, Aaron. I'm trying to. Thank you. I'm trying to give everyone a say. You had plenty. Velvish fan, you're obviously a Liverpool fan. I want to get your thoughts on what we've seen at Old Trafford today. Obviously, the match has been postponed. That is a strong message, regardless of how it's been done. The fact that the biggest game in English football has been postponed, that is a huge message, regardless of how it was done. As I've always said, my views in terms of, I couldn't care less about the cameras getting smashed up. That's not my problem. The bit that I condone is the fellow human beings being hurt. That I don't agree with. I don't want to see people being hurt for doing their jobs. Do I care that Sky Sports is going to have to buy 20 new cameras? No, I'm really not. I'm not too worried. But I am concerned that people were hurt in this protest. But what's your thoughts? Obviously, it was a big game regardless. We were meant to we were doing a watch along. Well, that was certainly what the plan was. It was going to be a huge game. As Aaron said, United needed to win. Liverpool needed to win. What's your thoughts on this whole event that's happened?
Yeah, I'm just going to echo what everyone said. Yeah, it's the right message. Just getting onto the pitch, doing what you have to do to get these owners out. But like you said, attacking other human beings, that's not right. That's not how you make a protest. That's not how you get the message across. Because you're just basically promoting violence. And you want to use violence. And you saw like a couple of days ago, Ed Woodward got attacked by some United fans. There's protesting, but violence is too far. You should not be using violence for anything.
No, and obviously I don't condone going for Ed Woodward. He's really going. But Rachel, you've heard what everyone's said. In terms of going forward, what do you think happens now in terms of the Glazers and that relationship that is clearly non-repairable? I don't think this is repairable in any way, shape, or form. What do you see the future being?
You know what? It can be repaired, but it will take years to do it. As in, they'd have to be consistent with sort of their investment and getting the right people involved in terms of the structure of the club. But that will take years. Like, for example, if we had a good summer this summer, that doesn't mean that everything that they've done goes out the window. It has to be consistent and it has to be a sustained thing. And then fans will start to, you know, they will start to appreciate them or whatever. But we all know what the Glazers are like. We know that they'll have one summer where they might invest, and then the next season when we need players, they'll just delay, and then they'll screw up somehow. Not the Glazers, but the people they put in charge. Not just the Glazers, obviously. But I agree with what everyone has said. Obviously, as I said before, we don't condone violence at all, especially towards other people. But from a purely sort of selfish point of view, in terms of just talking about Manchester United, I don't really care that the game's postponed, if I'm being honest with you. I don't. Because obviously, in terms of for a neutral and for a Liverpool fan, I absolutely understand that, you know, they're going to be pissed off about it. But from a United fan point of view, that's just not the priority, if I'm being honest with you. The game, don't get me wrong, it's always a big game to play against Liverpool for United fans, but it doesn't actually affect our season that much playing against Liverpool at the moment, simply because second is secured and it's not a big deal for us. It's a much bigger game for Liverpool than what it is for us, you know what I mean, at the moment. So from a selfish point of view, yeah, I don't really care that it's been postponed. We're going to play the game anyway. But as I said, it is wrong to start hitting or kicking or whoever he got the injury. You can't be doing that at all. That's where they've ruined it and made things worse. And the events at the Lowry Hotel, that's really bad as well. Throwing bottles at police officers and all that nonsense shouldn't be happening. Unacceptable.
No, I totally respect you. I'm a neutral, and I don't care that the game's been postponed in a way. I'm thinking of it. If that was my club, how would I be feeling? Well, I'd want these pagans out this club quicker, and you can say boo. Like that's the be all and end all of it, really. And I understand and I sympathise with Liverpool fans completely. It was arguably the biggest game of their season in terms of they needed to win to keep the top four, all of that. And but I also understand what Sousa said about it dilutes the message that people are sending. It's a tough one because everyone's thinking of this in a selfish point of view, and people can turn around and say they're not, and all of that. Souls is looking at it from a perspective as an Arsenal fan of we've done it peacefully. No.
It's not even that. Do you know my problem is, right? Even if Arsenal did this, and this is Arsenal Football Club, and we did this, I'd disagree with the protest completely, and I'd come out and say I don't agree one bit with it. I don't agree with any of what's happened. Do you know the reason why? It's because you can't give the media anything to spin this. You've got to make them and force them into the situation of just talking about what the situation is. And that is what? To get their Glazers, Cronkays, FSG, whoever else wants their owners out.
The media don't do it, though. They won't.
No. But you can't.
The media will never be forced to do it.
But today you've given them a narrative that they can spin this off with.
Well, they've been spinning it around anyway. They've been spinning it around anyway.
The thing is, they can't do it with evidence. Today they've got the evidence. They're going to say, oh, look at these protesters on the pitch. This is my problem. You can't give them that.
It's not ideal, but I do understand it from a United point of view of they felt that they've had no other choice. They genuinely... For me, I feel like they've gone. We've tried everything.
There's always a choice. It's just whether you want to make the right one.
Yeah, but for me, I think they've probably got to a point of we've tried everything. They've tried peaceful protests.
They haven't. They've done one.
They've been protesting the Glazers for years. They've had green and this. Yeah, but they've had green and gold for years. Right? They were protesting the Glazers even taking charge of United. So they have been protesting for years. They've done it peacefully. They protested under Fergie. They turned the entire Old Trafford into green and gold. They've tried everything in terms of peaceful. these assholes above, these assholes in terms of the owners, and I say the same for Kroenke, I say the same for FSG, I say the same for Glazers, and all of these idiots, they don't care. Peaceful protests don't seem to get through to their head. Now, yes, you can talk about
then you do other things. Like you can take a
like
bigger
what?
stance. Stop
Like
buying
what?
merch. Stop going to
So,
games and stuff.
if
But
there
this
is
is
a
what my
large,
problem. You
yeah, but
can't
Sauce,
take it violence though.
right, so I'm not condoning the violence. I've never condoned the violence. I've
But
said
that's
that I
what's
don't.
happened. That's
I
what's
yeah,
happened. So you can't agree with it then.
hold up, I can agree with elements of it. I don't have to agree with the whole thing. So I don't really care too much that they smashed a few cameras. That is material that can be replaced.
No, okay, so criminal damage is fine. Okay, cool.
Okay, you gotta let me finish.
But
Or
it
you
is
just
criminal damage though.
no, but Sauls, if you let me finish and explain what I'm saying, because I have no interest in that equipment. That's not my equipment. I'm viewing this in a selfish way. If that's not my equipment, I don't really care. Right? Do I care that Sky Sports and United are going to have to sell out for some new cameras? It's not my money. I couldn't frankly give a toss. Right? Same with, do I really care if United could buy Sancho? I don't care because it's not my money. I don't give a toss. Right? Do I agree with the people being hurt? Like that steward? Do I agree with the violence? Absolutely not, because I don't agree with hurting other fellow humans. And I said that in the Formula One stream where this news first broke out, and I've said that multiple times. Right? I've said that I don't condone the violence. I've said that I don't care about them breaking cameras because I don't. Right? But
So you think the means of being a criminal is fine for what the end causes?
no.
But that is what they're doing.
No, I'm saying I don't care what I don't care
Well,
that
you
they've
don't
done.
care that they're criminals because that's what it is. It is damage. It's
What I'm saying
criminal
is,
damage.
I don't care that they've broken a few cameras. That's
Right, so
not my
all
problem.
right, let's flip it. If it was your camera and your equipment, would you care?
Of course, then, because that's my
Exactly.
problem.
That's the problem. You can't just say you don't care because of someone
No,
else's.
I can, because
All right,
do
so
I
if someone
care?
broke into your neighbor's house, yeah, you'd be sympathetic, right? Because it doesn't matter. Just because
Yeah,
they're
because
multi-billionaire and multi-million-pound empires
but
doesn't make it any more or less
what I'm
right.
saying is, firstly, I've got my own issues with Sky Sports and media myself. So, frankly, my love and sympathy for them is on borrowed time as it is. Right? I've got my own issues with them. So that on a selfish way, I've got my issues with media. I've got issues with Sky Sports. So I don't really care about them.
Yeah, but there's a right and a wrong way. This is what I'm trying to say. You can be selfish, but it doesn't make it right.
But what I'm saying is the violence to other people, I don't condone. I didn't like that at all. Craig saying, no, how would you react if it was your camera? Well, that's different because that is my camera. That means I have...
But that's hypocritical. You can't say that. It is. Why is it just because it's your equipment you care, but when it's someone else's you don't care?
Because that's obvious. Right, Sauls, why do I have to give a damn that Sky Sports is going to have to sell out for some new cameras? I don't, right? Because that's not my... Everyone in this world is selfish, right?
Right, so if someone gets like, criminally like whatever, are you not going to care?
If someone give me any
example.
Like, give me
someone
one.
gets murdered,
So,
someone gets racially abused,
well,
someone gets abused, are you not going to care?
So,
It's not affecting you, is it?
One
They
minute.
were hurt.
Yeah, but Sauls, did I or did I not just say I don't condone the violence on people? So of course I'll care. One minute. No, because what you're doing now is you're putting me in a bad light, saying that I wouldn't give a shit if someone got murdered, which is absolutely...
you're saying you don't care because someone else has been impacted.
No, what I'm saying is that the violence on other people, I've already said that I don't agree with that and I don't like that. So of course I'd have an issue if someone got murdered.
But criminal damage to someone's property, it doesn't matter whose property it is, it should also be condoned. That's my problem. You should also be condoning the fact that someone's property, it doesn't matter the fact that they're empires or whatever they are, that should also be condoned. Why are you smashing their cameras up? That should not be allowed. That's still criminal damage.
I'll get into that in a second. But obviously, Rachel, you have to go in a second. But just give us your final thoughts on everything you've sort of seen and what you've heard from the panel today.
Yeah, big up to the United fans who were peaceful and didn't injure anyone. The message was sent loud and clear. I'm glad it didn't turn into a full-on riot. I know there were a couple of incidents at the stadium, but what I don't condone what happened at the Lowry Hotel. I thought that was a disgrace, personally. But yeah, just United fans, just keep up the pressure and try not to hurt anyone. That's what I would say to it, really. Just keep protesting, keep making your feelings heard. but just don't hurt anyone. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. Though. Just don't hurt anyone. But yeah, thank you for having me on though.
No, pleasure actually finally speaking to you. You've done all the work on the EFL show, and I've actually never had the chance to speak to you. So it's actually been quite nice. But before you go, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on the First XI. Excuse the spelling, I misspelled it there, but it's the First XI on YouTube and the Devil's Avocado on Twitter and Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys.
100%. No worries. And make sure you check out Rachel. Does brilliant content on player profiles and all of that on the First 11. So if you actually want to understand football or don't understand a specific player, make sure you do check out them because they are a great watch. That is for sure. Did a great one on Luke Shaw, which I found quite interesting to watch.
Oh, thank you. All right, take care, guys.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
But yeah, Velshran, we'll go to you. What do you think happens now? Like what sort of impact do you think this will have?
Well, it depends really. We could have a negative effect or a positive effect in terms of what happens. If it's a positive effect, then the players will be up for it because these protests are actually meant to motivate the players to do more because these owners are actually taking the beautiful game away from us. So this should motivate the players to like take a stand and fight for the badge because these owners are not showing any heart or sympathy for this football club. They're just only there for the money. So I feel like it should bring the players more together. So.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Aaron, what about you? What sort of impact do you think this will have?
Well, first of all, in terms of security at Man United, if I can turn my camera back on, I sent it to you now, so I don't know if you can put it on full screen, but there's the
reason I just didn't put it up is I don't think this is a situation quite yet where jokes should really be made.
I wanted to make it positive, but there's nothing really positive to think about it, to be honest, because it is quite a toxic situation. But yeah, Man United security team. I mean, the pictures and videos show that they were letting them in rather than blocking them out, and they just forced their way in. So, if that is the case and it's confirmed through inquiries and any footage, any extensional footage, then that whole security team should get sacked if they let them in.
Hold up. What are you going to do if there's 3, 4, 5,000 people stood in front of you? Are you going to try and block them out the way? Put your life at risk? Don't forget, these security people are going to have wives. They're going to have families.
Yeah.
You want them to put their life at
£15 an hour or £10 an hour. You're not going to do it.
You want them to put their lives at risk so they just can't get into Old Trafford and walk onto the pitch.
Oh no, of course not. But I don't know. I think it just at first glance it was just interesting that there was no.
The issue is that United didn't prepare. Now that's got to be down to United and the police force and the security bosses. They didn't prepare. They assumed that this would be a quiet, tiny little protest, and it was huge. And for me, that's not the stewards' fault. The stewards aren't going to block. The stewards aren't going to block 5,000 people because they'll get killed, right?
No,
this is down to United. This is down to the security bosses. This is down to the Manchester police for simply not doing their jobs. And because you would have more security on a match day. This is virtually a match day. You've got a lot of people who are going to be protesting, and you can't play dumb. You can't say, oh, we didn't know there was going to be a protest, as it has been widely reported on social media for about 2-3 weeks that there was going to be a mass protest at this game. So for me, the issue is clear with the police and United on that one.
Yeah. I felt sorry for the stewards in a way because it's like an ant trying to stop a 10-ton truck. It just won't happen. So I felt sorry for them in a way. In terms of the impact, though, I think this sends out a huge statement. You know, the Glazers don't care. The Glazers won't even know the match was on today. They'll probably think it's on the day that the game's been postponed to or something like that. They won't even care what the day the match is on. But like the Glazers won't care. But in terms of how this impacts maybe other teams like the Arsenals and Tottenham with their ENIC and stuff like that, I think that this could potentially maybe be the catalyst, if you will, for maybe we've seen the executives domino fall, like the Ed Woodward and stuff like that, and some other executives stepping down. Maybe the first ownership domino will fall, and then the rest will fall with it. So, out of the 6 clubs, I don't expect Chelsea and Man City to get rid of their owners because they're still winning them titles. But in terms of Man U, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool, if the Glazers fall, I expect it to be Kroenke, then ENIC, then FSG. I expect the dominoes to fall like it did with the executives. And like I said, if it wasn't for the violence against other people, I don't care about equipment. If it was the violence against other people, this would have been a better message than it was anyway. And it would have been a better message to send to the world of football. I think now being Football League fans or Football League club fans, we know that the big money's gone to the bigger clubs and we've just been left to die for the last 20 years. That's always been the way football's gone. And then, and I said about the media, how people care. I saw a tweet just earlier from Jonathan Walters saying, breaking news, Sky aren't the guardian angels and all this. And you've got to agree with Jonathan Walters. Sky and Sports and the media are not guardian angels. They're taking their high horse because they've found a way to take the
I've had my own personal issues that a lot of people won't understand why I have these issues. Basically, it's on a selfish point of view. These media companies have never given a shit about League 1 or 2. My team has been in League 1 or 2 for most of my life. Right, well, if not most, most of it. So on a selfish point of view, these media lot couldn't give a toss about us. So
I've always had a problem with the media.
But guess what? Feeling is completely neutral. I couldn't give a toss about Sky Sports. I on a selfish point of view, they've never given a toss about us, so I don't give a toss about them. I give a toss for the stewards that got hurt. I give a toss for the Liverpool fans because they're obviously, judging by Genie's face,
there was a referee or an official that got like a plaster on his eye. Cause I think there was a video on Twitter where Jamie Carragher turned around and did like a close up on this.
That was a steward. He had
that was a steward.
His face. Well,
he got stitched up in the eye, and his eye was quite closed as well. That I don't condone. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, of course not. But I've had my own issues with the media, and other people won't understand them issues. That's me personally. Genie, one minute, Aaron. Genie, what do you make of I don't know how much you've heard and all of that, but what's your feelings at the moment?
I think the protest was done wrongly. Aaron mentioned obviously League One with the media. You can also look at League One. You can also look at League One. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can also look at League One clubs and look at what they've done for the protests. Niall, I like following Blackpool. Blackpool had the Oystons for years. They were bad. Blackpool fans hit them where it hurt. They didn't go to games. They walked out in minutes. They hurt their pockets. That's how you do it. I get it's much harder for United fans because they're a bigger club, they're a bigger franchise with fans all over the world. But the way to do it is hit it when they hurts. Wait till fans are back. Don't go. Don't buy the merch. Don't buy the foods and stuff in the stores. But don't go on the pitch and ruin the football match. You're meant to be a supporter of your team. A supporter of your team is meant to be watching your team play football. They've stopped it today. It's not peaceful, and for me, it's not right. I think they've done it wrongly. And maybe I am selfish because I'm annoyed that I've not been able to watch my team playing, and give United a good go. And although top four is likely, not give up on top four. I think the team that we put out was good. I think we was probably in the right frame of mind. United just played on Thursday. I think it being postponed probably benefited United more as well. So, but I think the protests were wrong. And I listened to what Sul said at the start, and I thought it was absolutely spot on. I agreed with everything he said. It's not right, and it can't happen next week for whoever United play again.
Yeah, next week will definitely be interesting to see what's going on. Liam saying the old intro is back. Yeah, I'm working on it just for you, mate. I'm working at trying to get the new pictures on with the old intro music. So that new stuff will still be there, but I'm working especially for you, mate, to get that that music back, because I know how much you like that music. So
I do have a quick update on the game.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not being paid. I know that much.
No, it's still that. But I've heard unconfirmed reports that the game's set to be moved until the 13th of May. That's unconfirmed at this stage, but it may not be tomorrow. It'll be instead the 13th of May, but that is unofficial as of yet. But I'm yet to receive more sources. There's a few sources that have confirmed that, but there's more sources that could confirm it in the next half an hour.
You couldn't move it tomorrow anyway, because United have got Europa League on Thursday, and
they couldn't have played it even further on today because I think the rules got to kick off like 15 minutes before Spurs Sheffield United starts, so they wouldn't have been able to play it anyway today. So
well, no, I'm sure they could have worked away if it was really that much. Liam saying, "How thanks." No worries, mate. I am working on it. That is something I'm doing. But yeah,
if that's true, the 13th of May is true, as what Aaron's just said. I can't wait to see Klopp's reaction, because then that gives us a game on the weekend, a game, and then United midweek with another game on the weekend. And he already doesn't like the compact fixture list. So I'd love to see Klopp's reaction if that goes ahead.
Oh,
and what?
So basically, according to Sky, the reason why, a contribution to the decision why it's been postponed is Man United fans might have gained access to the dressing rooms, breaching the red zone.
They did gain access to the dressing room.
Oh, they did. Oh, right. So that's the main contributing factor.
Well, yeah, and that's the element that isn't really spoken about too much at the moment, which was there were breaches of massive COVID regulations, and we all know how difficult it is already having Premier League on with COVID around and the extra protocols, and the fact that the dressing room, that puts the players at risk. I'm sorry, but it does. And these players have done absolutely nothing wrong. The United players have done nothing wrong. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool players, none of them have done anything wrong. So why should they be put at risk of getting coronavirus, to which then they give to their families? What if that kills one of their grandparents, or however you want to see it, right? So that is obviously majorly a large part of why this has been called off.
Yeah.
Now, I don't agree.
One other person who's an absolute prick is Graham Souness. His comment on his take on the protests and what he thinks the protests stand for. He is one of the people right now, and Graham, he's a respectful guy, right? He's a great player and he's an all right manager. But as a pundit, right, I'm sick and tired of his bullshit, right? Because he's out of touch. The mainstream media and people in the media are out of touch with what is happening in the game right now. And Graham Souness, along with Ray Parlour and a few other people, are part of the problem.
Yeah, I'm not saying the media aren't part of the problem. They've always been.
Oh no, never said you thought that.
That's why I go to Saul's for my football information. If you haven't checked out, Saul's actually tweets a lot of football information. So just make sure he's turning his Twitter into Sky Sports News. Like so if you want updates,
I might need him for the Donny News coming up in the next few months.
So yeah, Chris saying wouldn't say it was a peaceful protest. None of them mentioned it was peaceful, Chris. They were spoken really well about, shared their fairly different, recommended watching all of this has been great. Yeah, look, me and Saul's nearly got into a heated debate, but I just want to confirm, if someone is murdered, of course I'm sympathetic. People don't deserve to lose their life.
But that's what I'm saying. When there's criminal damage, I don't.
One minute. Yeah, but Sauls, I have a reason why I don't give a shit about Sky Sports, and
But it's still criminal damage, though. It's
yeah,
still not
but
right.
if
You
it's
still
to,
have
if
to
it's
condone that.
yeah, but if it's to another citizen, of course I condone criminal damage. But if it's to Sky Sports, who I already dislike, then I'm
But that's
hardly like
unfair, though. I don't think that's a
not
right
not
mentality to
not
have,
really,
though.
because I'm not going to mention their name. But if another YouTuber was to have his house broken into, my giving a shit isn't going to be much, right? At least I'm
No,
consistent.
I'd still be sympathetic towards them. I'm not going to lie, because I just don't think it's right not to.
I just don't have that in me. I'm a bit of a cunt, but I'm a fairly nice cunt most of the time. That is the way I see myself. I'm a cunt, but I'm fairly nice most of the time.
No, but then if something happened to you, wouldn't you like it that people came out and reached out to you? And that's what I'm trying to say. Now, I'm not saying I know Sky Sports are big,
to be honest, I don't. If it happened to me, I don't care what people are saying. Words are meaningless. Unless let's say my house got broken into, unless someone was lovely enough to go buy all my stuff, like then that would be lovely. But words for me, words are just words. Like I'm a weird one, so I'm young, but I'm a bit like my granddad. Like if that makes sense. Like I'm a bit of an old fart, but I'm only 25. That dread to think what I'm going to be like when I'm in my 80s. Jesus Christ, that is going to be entertaining. Let's just hope I'm not in a nursing home, because I could be quite a difficult one, I feel. Craig saying, "Oh, sorry, thought you meant the panel. Ignore me, my fault." They're just chatting to themselves. But the thing is, with what I want to ask next, obviously, Sauls, I'll go to you first. Do you think this will have an impact? Do you think this will make people? I mean, right or wrong of if you agree of how it was done, people are now definitely talking about the biggest game of the season in the Premier League being called off. So, right or wrong, is this? I'm going to try and flip it into a positive for United fans. I don't know really how Liverpool fans feel about FSG. It's very mixed messages over there, but I suppose it is getting it talked about, and I now also guess United are going to be in for quite a hefty lawsuit from Sky Sports and the Premier League.
It's a tough one, because I mentioned before, do you know, like when the Black Lives Matter movement happened, and there was rioting and looting, that diluted the message. Even though the message was getting spoken about, it was getting spoken about in a very mixed way. This is the thing. This is my worry, and this is why I'm so annoyed at what's happened, because I went out, whilst I'm fasting and everything, and because I believe in the message of getting these owners out. And I went last week, and it was very peaceful. Yes, there was one or two idiots, right? I'll openly say, but that's bound to happen. But when it's one or two, it's fine. You can, tell them, "Oh, just shut up and get on with it," or whatever. You can control that. The problem is,
I hope you didn't say, "Oh, shut up and get on with it." If they're trying to break into Old Trafford, I really hope you didn't tell them to get on with it.
Yeah.
Get in there quicker, you asshole.
No. They were like, oh, they had a football or something, and they were like, oh, let's just kick it out of the stadium and cause some damage. And we were like, oh no, like, just get on with the protests if you want to protest, but stop doing all of this bullshit that you're trying to do. And this is one of my worries, because look, we can say, have they ever really put a positive spin on it? I don't really know. Not really. I've not seen anything. But are they speaking about it? Yes, it has got them speaking about it. Even before this breaking happened, from the Arsenal one from United last week, it was getting covered. Now, was it sending the message to them? That you can debate whether they cared or not. Will this make them care? Not for the right reasons. I don't think they'll care because they got onto the pitch or anything. I think they'll be concerned because of the fact that someone got injured, that there was property damage, the fact that they got into dressing rooms to postpone games. It just won't. For me, it just doesn't. It dilutes the message because of everything else. If they had just gotten on the pitch, right, I would have said, you know what, whatever in it, like. Yeah, cool. You got your message said, but it was the fact that they tried to send flares up at the Sky, like whoever was on Sky Sports on the little terrace thing that they had, and obviously the steward getting injured, the fact they got into the dressing rooms, breaching all sorts of COVID restrictions and guidelines is what my concern is, and I think they're going to spin this into something which it probably wasn't. And that's my only kind of concern, is how they spin this and what effects that will have. Because they've done it with protests that mean even more. Because let's be honest, right? Like racism and abuse is a bigger protest than this for a lot of people. Because some people are just going to sit there and say, oh, it's only football. This is only going to be like a matter to football people, you know, in terms of the grand scheme of the world, not in terms of like the media, but it's only going to be like for myself, who's a football fan, yourself, who's like obviously a lower league fan, and everyone else who supports Premier League or lower league or even supports football. It's only going to be a real concern for us and getting us talking. So if they can spin off something which was so horrendous, like the Black Lives Matter movement and everything, and they can spin this into something bad, they're not really going to care about this, and that's where my problems are coming.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of what I've got to say on it.
I do hear that. Obviously, I just want to confirm Argyle are a bigger club than Arsenal, so I'd prefer if you didn't refer to us as lower league, because you'd have to refer.
No, that's where you are right now. You might get into when you get into the spot.
Well, no, we all know that Argyle are far superior to Arsenal. We play in green, that's why. Any team that plays in green, big up to yourselves. You have a lovely colour kit. But Dom, you're obviously a United fan. What have you made a protest today? And where the hell are you walking to?
Home.
He's walking to Old Trafford to deal with this.
No. I was in the pub. I was hoping to watch this fucking game between Manchester United and Liverpool. But no, the fucking idiots, right, have ruined it for us all. The fucking idiots who thought it was a peaceful protest has made it fucking violent. What is the fucking point of having a protest going to make it violent at all? It's fucking disgraceful. I think the United fans should be ashamed of themselves. I think they really should. Yes, they're trying to fight a problem in their club, but I think they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. I tell you now.
You mean the violent one? The violent ones, right?
No, fucking all of them. All of them.
Well,
all of them.
Well, no, the ones. Well, no, the ones who are the ones that. Well, hold up, but hold up. The ones who are outside the stadium, they did it peacefully, like Sauls did a week before.
Yeah. If you do outside the stadium, perfectly fine. Go into the fucking pitch, and you fucking break entry, you trespass, you ruin it for others. It's like what Jamie Carragher said on Sky Sports before. It's like going out on a Saturday night and you're someone who spoils it for you. It really is. Because that is not going to fucking help anything. It really isn't. And literally, you think United fans are going to get the message out. The Glazers are fucking laughing at us right now. The Glazers really are laughing at us right now. Really are. They're thinking, look at these fucking bunch of idiots. We'll just stay a little bit longer, take the piss. And you know what? Nothing's going to get sorted. It's fucking bollocks. Yes, United fans, everyone's got a fucking point against the Glazers and the owners that have gone to the European Super League, but it is fucking bollocks. Why?
No, I hear you. I do hear you, and I know people say hit them where it hurts. That's just impossible for clubs like United, Liverpool, Arsenal. It really is. The reason I say it's impossible. If a large group of you don't want to go, guess what? You've got worldwide fan bases, and the ones in China or the ones in Asia aren't going to give a damn that you're trying to get these owners out. They're going to go buy that shirt because they're like, cool, it's Arsenal. I support Arsenal. I go get that shirt. It's easier. And again, Jeannie, don't be disrespected by this because I'm an Argyle fan. It's easier to do it to smaller clubs because there's less supporters, to be brutally honest with you.
Yeah, no, I said that. Yeah.
If 8,000 of you support Blackpool, I'm using 8,000 as an example. If 8,000 of you go support Blackpool and 7,000 of you want them gone, you can make a very strong impact financially by not buying the merch and going to matches and all that. The season ticket one for me is a bit more iffy because you wait so long to get a season ticket. If you then cancel it, you go right to the bottom of the list. So that I do have a lot of sympathy for. It's not like Argyle where if you cancel your season ticket 1 year, you can go back onto a list and go get one the year after. It's very different. But Dom, we're talking about what sort of message, whether you agree with the protest or not, it does get this issue still getting spoken about. However the message is, I suppose the saying is all attention is good attention, or whatever it is. What sort of impact are you thinking this is going to have?
Based on what kind of impact? Like,
what do you think? Do you think that this is now going to just put additional pressure on the Glazers? It is going to hit them financially because I'm presuming Sky Sports prime time viewing on a Sunday afternoon for Super Sunday is going to have quite a bit to say compensation-wise. So I suppose it is going to hit the Glazers and United there. So do you think this is going to get to a point where the Glazers go, do you know what? If they're just going to keep doing this, fuck it, we'll just go.
No, I don't think they will. The only way the Glazers will leave if everyone stops buying a ticket and starts buying the shirts, which will never happen in a million years. It just won't. That's the only way we're going to get Glazers out if you boycott the whole club. But it's not going to happen. So we're going to still be in this problem in, 10, 15 years to come until there's not enough money being made for them and it goes to shit.
Yeah. No, I do hear that. And before I end it, I want to flip it onto a positive. United haven't given City the title, and Liverpool still can get top four. So, Velv, we'll start with you. Top four still alive. You're yet to face United. Confident you can get the win?
Like I said, yeah, they already cancelled it because Rashford is scared of Ozan Kabak because he knows Kabak's going to have him on ropes, bruv. That's
I've
why they
already
cancelled
told
it.
you, Rashford's playing on the wing, you twat. It's Greenwood up front. Well, it would have been today anyway.
No, Greenwood will be Phillips's pocket.
That's disrespectful. We all know that Greenwood would have put Phillips on his backside. Greenwood can use both feet. I don't have Greenwood slander on here. You can slander any other United player all you like. You say anything about Mason Greenwood and you're gonna have some severe problems. But Jeannie, we'll go to you. You haven't lost to United, so I suppose there's one positive.
We're unbeaten in 6 games.
Yeah.
We haven't lost yet. We've just delayed our loss a few weeks.
Yeah, but let's. I'm trying to spin it on a positive, trying to get a little bit more light-hearted before we wrap it up. Okay, it's been quite a down sort of stream as you would expect with this sort of news. But look, you're gonna have to face United. Jurgen Klopp's gonna be moaning again on fixture congestion for another time this season. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. I suppose it makes it refreshing them moaning about the wind or the sort of stadium you're in. So I suppose it goes back that Jurgen can go back to what he knows, which is moaning about fixtures.
I thought you was flipping this on a positive. Stop insulting my manager.
But what, are you confident you can beat them whenever you play them?
No, I wasn't confident today. Phillips being back gave me a bit more confidence. So, but no, I think they'll beat us. Top four looks well and truly over anyway, if we're being realistic now. So it is what it is.
Calm down,
I don't think we'll get top four. Pardon?
No, Genie's upset that Wijnaldum didn't start tonight.
Genie's just swallowed the Aubameyang dictionary there. Dom, we're trying to spin this on the positive. The positive is you haven't given City the title. So Pep had the champagne on ice ready, and now the man's got to put that back in the fridge.
There's always next week, Niall. Remember that. There's always next week to give him the title.
Well, no, that's what I mean. But City play before you, I think, because they play on the Saturday and you play on the Sunday, if I remember correctly. So they can win it themselves. Yeah. So they can win it themselves. So I suppose the positive is you haven't given City the title.
True, but it would have been nice to beat Liverpool today. It really would have been nice. But even after that,
actually, scrap that. I don't. No. Before you do that, I don't think they are going to win the title next week. They've got Chelsea at the Etihad.
I'm putting back in the negative. If those protests went on today, I hope Liverpool smashed us. I really did. They fucking smashed us.
All right, Dom is just proving even more why RJ confuses him as a Liverpool fan.
Because, no. So what? So people go on the pitch, ruin it for others, fucking violent protest, and I expect my team to go out and fucking want to go on and expect my team to win.
I would, because one minute, if I felt
the 3 points now, I'd give them the 3 points now for that. Give them the 3 points.
No, you absolutely can't use that word on here. I don't know why you'd even assume that's acceptable. I'm going to give you a benefit of a doubt and let you stay in the chat. But if you even attempt to use a racist word into this chat, you are going to be blocked straight away. So
does it not mean nothing?
I don't know what he means, but
numpty.
if you're about to use a racist word in the chat, as soon as you're muted, mate.
Yeah, if you ask
but
me about
yeah,
the N-word, I highly doubt you're saying knobhead, because knobhead is fine.
yeah. I'm
Nonce,
gonna give you
you
the.
might mean nonce.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you're not on about a racial slang word. But to which it's not really okay either. But you come into this chat and put a racial word into our chat, you're just gonna get blocked instantly. So I'm gonna give you a benefit of the doubt there, because that's just absolutely horrific if you even attempt that. But no, Dom, what we use actually, I wanted to confront you about something. So it's not it's not how do I put it? It's not.
Sorry, pal.
What I'm saying is, it's not the players' fault for what the fans did. It's not the fans that are sat at home. So why do you want United to lose?
Oh, it's just fucked. Why would you take the peaceful protest and then fucking ruin it all for everyone else? You go to get into the ground, you got onto the pitch, you start. I think some stupid was found on the pitch. The pundits were getting fucking things thrown at them, which was no need for that. It's just absolute fucking bollocks. I just say give Liverpool the 3 points now and let's get over and done with it. Because what our fans done today, especially the violent part, it's a fucking disgrace to Manchester United. It really is. It's a fucking disgrace. Yes, make the protest, make it peaceful. Don't make it fucking let's go and throw shit. Let's go and slice the security space fucking open.
Yeah,
we're not fucking mugs. Come on, we're Manchester United. Let's have a bit more respect for ourselves.
Yeah, no, I do hear that.
At least I can keep this picture for one more week.
What was the picture? Oh, champion.
My profile picture.
Yeah. Craig saying, why would that be acceptable, you think? I've just timed him out because I'm looking at that message going, why on earth would you even feel the need to ask that? Which does concern me. What sort of people? Social media is a fun world to be in. That's for sure. 1999 Sonic Boom. As a Bars fan, I hope we would have done this when Bartomeu. Is that how you say his name? Bartomeu was still in our club. Good on you guys. Look, people are going to have differing opinions. Me and Sauls have had different opinions. I think everyone on this panel, though, agrees with the one thing of people should never have been hurt and it should never have got to that stage. But Sauls, we're still putting this on the positive spin. There isn't going to be a match reaction that I know of Arsenal, but apparently you fucking won today, which is fucking remarkable.
I'm just opening my Euro stickers, yeah. Niall, I packed your boy.
What, Greenwood? Oh,
I packed your boy. I packed your boy, lad. Harry Maguire.
Oh, fucking that one. He goes in the bin. Actually, put that on your fridge. Put that on your fridge and send me a picture. Put it on your fridge and send me a picture. But yeah, Sauls, you won today, apparently. I even think Aubameyang
he scored
for you lot. It was quite a good goal by the looks of it as well.
Yeah, no, it was a good ball from Martin. It was a good build-up play, to be fair. And finished off nicely from Aubameyang. It was just a meaningless game. That's why I'm not even hyped about it. It was just like, yeah, cool, we won a game. Like, it didn't mean anything. So
that I would have done a match reaction on it, but I had other things more important.
It makes me angry that Arsenal beat Newcastle while we didn't.
I suppose I was trying to put this on a positive, but I don't think that's positive for Liverpool fans. But Aaron, I'm not talking about your result because Football League can go fuck themselves. So who do you think will win out of United versus Liverpool when it happens?
Well, I think my prediction still stands. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for United.
Yeah, that's fair. And the last question to the panel: who saw the stream last night where we picked our combined 11?
Who knew 24 hours later we'd be saying the game was postponed?
Genie, Genie, what did you make of the combined 11? Did you agree with it? Genie's refusing to answer. He's like, Dom, what did you make of the thing? The combined 11. Is Dom there? Nah,
He's on mute.
they've both fucked off. Genie,
I'm
are you there?
here. I'm here, but I'm not
Excellent.
speaking on that disgrace.
Why? What was it? Why? What we based it on form? We based it on form. So how was it?
Wait,
different?
bring it up again.
I don't know if I still have it. I might do.
What criteria of form as in this season or like recent games?
Recent games. So it had to be of the last 8 games.
So I wasn't Trenton.
Oh, thank you. I literally said
he was outvoted by Aaron,
Never.
Kieran, and Guna Express.
Trent just wasn't on form.
Oh, what? No Salah.
How doesn't Salah get in?
One minute. The reason that Greenwood got in above Salah is because Greenwood has 6 goals in his last 8 appearances.
Why is Cavani on there?
I think we had Salah in first, and then we swapped out Salah for Cavani.
Well, originally, Salah was. Yeah, I didn't vote. All I did was vote for Greenwood. I didn't vote for the rest.
Yeah, I vote for Greenwood.
You voted for all the United players, mate. Which is why I'm assured that you're.
I voted for.
Oh yeah, it can be a combined 11 if you didn't have one Liverpool player in. But we're going to end it there. But before we do, the Winter Surfer with great comment, positive Premier League Hall of Fame later tonight. Absolutely. We are going to be doing a Let's Talk Premier League Hall of Fame where I've got a list of 22 players. Only 5 of them can go into our Hall of Fame. There's Premier League have fucked theirs up already. So that is happening then. So make sure you check out me, Winter Surfer, and Charles, and others. I need to speak to some other people, see if they want to come on that. But it's going to be a good stream. 9 p.m. for that one. It is going to be entertaining. 99 saying, so is this game moved to next week? I've no idea. There's unofficial reports.
No, let's give Liverpool the 3 points. Let's get Liverpool the 3 points now. Might as well. Fucking disgrace. The whole lot.
Yeah,
absolute
see Dom's scared of come back. He knows what's up.
Scumbags to Manchester United, that lot. Absolute scumbags. Fucking fans my arse, fucking violent protest, fucking wanking swat, cunts, pricks.
And Dom is currently saying all of that while scoffing down on Tom's cock. But moving on, before we go.
Oh my god! I'm not turning my camera off so I don't get clipped by Genie either because I fucking can't be arsed with that.
Why? Why would Genie be clipping you?
He clips me every fucking day. If I go on a stream, right, I just know his camera's full of fucking.
Yeah. But why would he be clipping you? What on earth are you doing right now that would mean you're getting clipped?
I'm spinning on my chair.
You twat. Oh, that is hilarious. So for anyone who couldn't hear that, Dom just said he's spinning on his chair sniffing Tom's boxers. But but Aaron, before we go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Massively does help us out. New content coming pretty much every week and all of that. But follow our Twitter at Let's Talk EPL and our Instagram Let's Talk EPL _, or go check out the No Context LTPL. I don't know who's in charge of that account, but whoever it is does a very, very good job. That is for sure.
An absolute delinquent.
That reminds me, Dom, you need to pay their wages, all right? But Aaron, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Challoner on the road to a K. Also, Fremmer Football, DRFC, loads of Donny content to come next week for the final 2 games of the season. Coppinger's last match. So if you're a Donny fan or you're down there in Donny at the Keepmoat, if you're down there at the Keepmoat Stadium on Sunday, come and check me, see if I'm there because I'll hopefully be down there to see Coppinger's last game. So yeah, come see me down at the Keepmoat Stadium. Got a load of stuff on for the summer, transfer wise, and yeah, all going down. Revers till I die.
Lovely. And who's next? Sauls, where can they find you?
Definitely not at the protest. I can tell you that one this week. And you can find me at Guna Souls or at Let's Debate Footy on Twitter. And I'll make a brief appearance on the Hall of Fame as well tonight.
100%. And Velv, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at VEL_skills.
Yeah. And Jeannie?
Genie in a bottle.
And
you can find him at the Liverpool champion celebration because that's still going ahead.
Oh my days.
And Dom, where can they find you when you're not scoffing on Tom's cock?
You know what, right? I was literally going to say that. I was going to say you could find me either on Genius or Tom's dick because that's what 10 minutes of this conversation has been, right? Fucking hell. You can find me nowhere near Old Trafford because I'm not going to belong with what all them scum that happened today.
It's because you're a Liverpool fan, mate.
You'll find me at Blackpool next season. Up the Oranges, I think they're called. I don't know the name.
Up the pool. No, tangerines, not oranges.
Tangerines.
Go on, Dom. We're going to beat Donny on the weekend. Midweek.
Well, big up to the Oranges in Blackpool. That is for sure. Dom has absolutely butchered their nickname to smithereens. Attaboy, Dom. But yes, we'll be back 9 p.m. for the Let's Talk. We'll be back at 9 p.m. for Let's Talk Premier League Hall of Fame. Some interesting names. Also managers. I've got 5 managers. Only 2 of them can go in. That is for sure.
If Origi's not there, I'm leaving.
Huh?
If Origi's not there, I'm unsubscribing.
He's not
Ollie's
retired.
Solskjaer's got to be in the top.
What for?
Shouldn't the Hall of Fame just be all United players? We've got the most medals.
Well, wait till the Hall of Fame. I had to chuck some
Ryan
Liverpool
Giggs,
players
Nicky
in there.
Butt, Roy Keane, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Wayne Rooney.
Some of them didn't get. Some of them didn't get there. That is for sure. Well, I couldn't really put Ryan Giggs in at the moment because he's current.
Not guilty.
He's current. Yeah, but until he's been classed as innocent, I'd rather not put someone who apparently, allegedly batters women. It's not something that I find.
A 20-year-old.
Yeah, that makes it look even better, mate. Even better. But yeah, we'll be back at 9 p.m. for that show, so make sure you check in for that one. It is gonna be entertaining. That's gonna be a mate stream for that one. That's quite funny. But yeah, we'll be back then. But everyone watching, big thanks to everyone who's joined in, and then we'll see you at 9 p.m. But until then, have a good day, and we'll